Hey guys, Slasher Movies 410 back again with another video, and for today's video I'm going to be showing you guys my newest scores that I just acquired as of late. So most of these scores are DVD and Blu-ray scores, but in addition to that, I also picked up an awesome NECA action figure that I got at Best Buy, and I cannot wait to show you guys that figure at the very end of this video. And I also got a really cool promotional item that I got back when Scream 6 came out, as you can see right here. So this is the Scream 6 3D holographic cup. It's exclusive at AMC theaters. I'm really glad I was able to pick this up. It's got a really cool holographic image of Ghostface with the knife, and then if you flip it to the back, you can see Ghostface appearing and disappearing as I move the cup. I really love that effect. And then you got the multiple Scream 6 logos surrounding it. And yeah, it also comes with a little figurine of Ghostface on top. I really wish that around the time Scream 5 released, they had more promotional items like this. Because they had a lot of promotional items for Scream 6. I wish I was able to get that popcorn bucket thing. I think that would be pretty cool. But down the line, when Scream 7 comes out, hopefully they have more items like this that I can get in the future. So yeah, again, definitely going to cherish this. So first things first, my first score is the Bates Motel Complete Collection box set by Universal Studios. This box set includes all 5 seasons of the show, as you can see. And overall, I really admire the whole layout of the box set itself and its presentation. I really like how they have Freddie Highmore on the front, and that's like a really creepy image of him. And I really like the blue kind of tint that it has all throughout it to make it look like the Bates Motel sign. And then here's the side. You got Bates Motel on the bottom right there. And then if you flip it to the back, you got Vera Farmiga, who played Norma Bates, of course. Really loved her performance throughout the show, as well as Freddie Highmore. They both did a fantastic job. But yeah, what I'm going to do is now... Oh, by the way, these are all on standard DVD. They do have like a Blu-ray version, but in my opinion, it's like way overpriced. I don't know why it's so expensive, but... yeah, so what I'm going to do is now I'm going to take these all out of the box, and I'm going to show you all the cases individually and give you a quick look at them. So let's get started. Alright, first things first, here is Season 1. You got Norman and Norma on the bed together, and throughout the show they dropped a lot of hints about incest, which was kind of made me uncomfortable, I'm not going to lie. But they did that a lot throughout the show, so just bear that in mind before watching. But yeah, there's the front cover, and then here's the back. So there's Season 1. Next is Season 2. Again, you got Norma and Norman laying down next to each other. There's the back right there. Next is Season 3, and now this is really where the show was really starting to get better. It was at Season 3 onwards. So there it is. Next is Season 4. Season 4 I enjoyed quite a lot as well. Last but not least is Season 5. So at some point I'm definitely going to do an in-depth review of this entire box set. Definitely going to get around to that soon, but I figured I'd show you for this video. And I also really recommend getting this set if you are a fan of the show. Personally, I really enjoyed the show, and I think they did a phenomenal job on it. And Seasons 1 and 2 were pretty average in my opinion, but again, it really took off in Season 3. And from then on, it just became even more memorable. And I think they did a great job with the storyline of the relatively normal kid slowly going insane and becoming a deranged serial killer. I really thought that Vera Farmiga was fantastic, and I also liked the additional side characters like Emma, or Romero, Dylan too. And just keep in mind though that the show is a modern remake, but at the same time it's also a prequel, which may be confusing for some audiences. I think it would be cool if they had set it in the 60s, but I understand why they didn't. And there's also a fair bit of drama and modern teen stuff. Nowhere near the caliber of like CW shows though, for example. So just bear that in mind before watching. So it's probably not the best if you're looking for pure horror. Again, great performances throughout, and I really think the casting of Norma and Norman really sold the show. Alright, so on to the Blu-ray scores now. So the first Blu-ray that I got over here, I actually purchased at FYE, and that is Annabelle Comes Home. So I have personally not seen this movie yet, but I'm actually working on completing the entire Conjuring universe movie collection. So I figured I'd pick this up, and it was also pretty cheap too. I heard that this movie isn't the best, but it's not horrible either. So my curiosity is still there for sure. And guys, let me know in the comments if you guys have seen this movie and what you think of it, because I am definitely interested in checking this out. And I know that there are a ton of Annabelle movies in this universe, so it's a little overwhelming. But I'm going to slowly work on getting all of them as time goes on, and I'm eventually going to get the Nun movies as well. I know they're actually working on the Nun 2 right now, or they're finished with it, and it's releasing soon. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, I'm definitely going to get the Nun movies to go along with it. So there's Annabelle Comes Home. Alright, so the next movie that I got here is The Conjuring 2. Now, I really enjoyed this movie, and I think it's a great follow-up sequel. It's definitely not as good as the first movie, but again, it's a fun movie, and I really love the change of location, setting it in England. And I think the scariest scene for me was the one where you couldn't tell if Lorraine was looking at the painting or the demon. That was absolutely terrifying, and it just built a lot of tension, and it just freaked me out. And I think that James Wan has really solidified himself as a horror master, and he's done a great job on these movies. And it's a shame he couldn't direct the third one. But yeah, his films are just so well shot. Originally, before this movie came out, I was kind of on the fence about a sequel. But when I saw The Conjuring 2 for the first time, you know, I really enjoyed it. It was definitely a great, great sequel. So there's The Conjuring 2. So the next movie that I got is The Strangers Prey at Night. Now, I thought that this movie was decent at best, but not as good as the first one by any means. And I'm not going to lie, I was a little disappointed by this one. I thought it was a very average slasher flick and nothing more. I thought that the tension and the atmosphere from the first movie really wasn't there, and it falls victim to the typical horror tropes. And in my opinion, it was much more action than suspense, you know? And also, Christina Hendricks really phoned it in my opinion. I really was not impressed by her acting at all. But on the other hand, though, I think that Bailey Madison and Martin Henderson did a great job with their performances. And the cinematography and soundtrack were pretty good. And I really liked that pool scene. That pool scene really stood out to me. But yeah, here's The Strangers Prey at Night. Again, just a very average sequel. And I still need to get the first one for the collection. I got this one at FYE as well because it was really cheap. So the next movie that I got here is Terrifier 2. Now, I actually really love the artwork on this thing for sure. It really reminds me of like a carnival attraction type of thing, and I just think it really gives me the fall vibe, so I really like the cover on this thing. Here's the back, and I'll actually take it out of the slipcover so you can take a look at the actual cover itself. So there it is. There's the back. But anyways, in my opinion, I thought that Terrifier 2 as a movie was just really disappointing to me. I felt that the movie focused too much on the gore and it felt comical compared to the first one. And I also thought that this movie was way too drawn out, way too long. It definitely did not need to be this long. On one hand, it is a decent slasher filled with fun, creative kills that are definitely going to stick with me. But on the other hand, it felt like every single scene went on 2 to 3 minutes too long. You could easily cut this movie down by 20 to 30 minutes, you know? And even though I appreciate this movie being more character-driven and focusing on the new girl, Sienna, who I actually liked a lot, I just didn't like the whole mystical comic book storyline that they were going for at the end with the magical sword and all that. This whole movie really just felt like a weird fever dream, while the first one felt more grounded. So the next movie that I got is Megan. Now, of course, this movie was very silly and campy in a lot of ways, but I thought it was ultimately really fun. I really had a good time with this movie. I think that this movie did a good job of setting expectations for the tone, in my opinion. And I also thought that Amy Donald and Jenna Davis, who were the two girls that played Megan, absolutely killed it. She was a very entertaining character. And this movie was basically the plot of the Child's Play remake through a slightly different lens, but frankly, I enjoyed it for that. And I found a lot of new things to enjoy here. I just wish that this movie was rated R. Of course, it comes with an unrated version, which I'm definitely going to check out. But I think it should have been advertised as rated R. That would have got a lot of people to go see it. I think they made it PG-13 because it seems like they want to reach a younger audience, which I understand, of course. And Allison Williams was also great, and I enjoyed her character a lot. So again, this is the slipcover. Let me take it out so I can show you the actual cover. So there it is. It's the same exact thing. So the next movie that I got here is the extremely disappointing movie, Halloween Ends. I got this in 4K to match my other 4K sets as well as my complete collection box set with the black cases. Now that I have this movie, my Halloween collection is officially complete, which is pretty cool. And I actually do like the cover on this thing with Laurie and Michael on the front. It could actually open up like a book, which is pretty cool. And then you got some more images of Laurie and Michael right there. But in my opinion, this movie was absolutely horrible. I actually think it might be the worst in the franchise. I have to reevaluate my ranking, but this film is really not looking good. I'm still baffled by the choices that they made in this movie. And the biggest issue with it for me personally is that it completely detached itself from the other two movies, and they chose to focus on a new character named Corey at the very end of a trilogy, while sidelining Michael Myers. It's like, how the hell, like, why would you make that creative choice to do that? And I also hate the fact that they made Laurie suddenly put the past behind her, considering everything that happened to her in the last film. And there's just such a huge list as to why I hate this movie, and the list can go on and on for centuries. But again, this movie was incredibly disappointing to me. But here, let me take off the slipcover so I can give you guys another look. So there it is. And finally, last but not least, the last movie that I got here is Scream 6. Now, I actually think the cover on this thing is pretty sweet. As you can see, you've got a whole bunch of characters from the movie on the front. You got Ghostface right there surrounding New York City. The only thing that I don't like is this random red banner on top. I think they should have made it black, but besides that, I think this looks pretty sweet. So I'm going to take the slipcover off so I can give you a look at the actual case itself. So there it is. Again, I really hate that red banner that they put on it. I really had a blast with this movie. I thought it was very entertaining from start to finish, and I really loved the change of scenery in New York City. And I think if they set it in Woodsboro again, it just would have felt so repetitive, so I'm really glad that they changed it. And I actually enjoyed this movie a lot more than Scream 5. I just wish that personally that this movie took more chances revolving around certain characters. It's like they were afraid to kill off a lot of characters in this movie, and there were so many of them that didn't die from their injuries that absolutely should have died. And it just would have added a lot of momentous weight going into the 7th film if they actually got killed off. And I also felt that the third act went downhill, and the killer reveal was definitely underwhelming, to say the least. And the killer reveal really reminded me of Scream 2, which was, I guess, the point of it. But I think that they should have done something new. In the opening scene, that was definitely new. We never saw anything like that. So I kind of hope they keep that going when Scream 7 rolls around. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you my latest score that I got at Best Buy. And I think I purchased this figure for around 30 bucks, which is a really good price. And I'm going to show you right now. So let's get to it. So the NECA figure that I got from Best Buy is the Retro Cloth Ghostface figure. When I saw this at Best Buy, I immediately had to give them my money. It was only 30 bucks. And believe it or not, guys, this is the first ever horror action figure that I have in my collection. And I know that's extremely surprising considering I've been collecting for 10 to 12 years. But the reason why I didn't collect horror figures is because I was kind of worried that it would eventually turn into an obsession and that my collection would be way too big and I wouldn't have enough space to store all of them. So I have a plan. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get one horror action figure from every movie franchise. Just one. So in this case for Scream, that's it. I'm not going to get any more versions of Scream. It's just going to be this one. For Friday the 13th, for example, if I come across a Part 3 figure, that's the only Jason that I'm going to get. You know? And also my plan is right now is to get just the retro cloth figures. So probably the next figure that I'm going to get is either Candyman or Leatherface, the Halloween 2 Michael Myers, whatever the case may be. If I see one of those type of figures, I will end up purchasing it. But anyways, here is the retro cloth Ghostface figure. The face sculpt on this thing looks absolutely terrific. I really love the mask on this thing. It's got the sparkle material on the robe. It comes with a buck 120 knife and a really tiny voice changer right there. I wish it came with a phone. That would be absolutely ideal, but it didn't come with a phone. But that's okay. And I actually prefer this Ghostface over the Ultimate Ghostface, and the reason why is because I feel that the face sculpt on this one is a lot better compared to the Ultimate Ghostface. And also, this figure is just more accurate to me. It's got more sparkle material on the fabric, and the Ultimate Ghostface is still really cool. Don't get me wrong. Like I like it a lot. I love the fact that there are so many different accessories for it. But I actually like how there's actually a window box on this thing. There is still a window box on the Ultimate figure, but you kind of have to like open it up like a book, which I'm not a huge fan of. So this is going to look a lot nicer for display. And I really love the packaging on this thing. You got Ghostface right there. It has a really nice purple background. And if you flip it to the back, it shows the figure in greater detail with all the different poses it can make. And yeah, overall, I'm really glad I picked this up for the collection. This is the first of many to come. It's going to look fantastic, and I really cannot wait to collect more of these soon. So guys, that's going to be a wrap on this video. I really hope you all enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think of my newest scores in the comment section below. I got a lot of awesome content planned real soon. Again, I owe you guys a lot of costume test videos, so I'm going to get on that as soon as possible. And I also want to get to updating the horror room and do another horror room video. So that'll be around the corner real soon. But anyways, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Make sure to hit that notification bell, and I will see you later with some more videos.